online, helping people with different experts to conduct different sessions. And thanks for the invitation for this session. So I'm Mohammed Al-Dalal. I'm part of the IEEE Region 8. I'm having different hats. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm based in Egypt. Currently, I'm the CEO for Innovidias. And IEEE Entrepreneurship, one of the steering committee members, and on the IEEE Region 8 Entrepreneurship Initiative as a co-founder and a team lead. So our session tonight will be like, we will try to do it interactive as we can. Of course, everyone has started to be fed up from being online and connected and through the mobile. So we will have rounds of questions. I think Ali will help me with this. We are on the webinar on Zoom for IEEE members, and I think we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. So whenever you have a question, please let me know or just send it and Ali will coordinate this. So the question was, is entrepreneurship for everyone, and how to start this? And what's this word actually? What's entrepreneurship? So let's start. So I will start with a question actually for you. Why? Why would you like to be an entrepreneur? So a bit of confusing. You are here to listen, but I would like to hear from you, even if we are online and I don't have feedback comments for this, but I would like you to think for a few seconds. So what always people answer this question is one of three things. Because entrepreneurs are famous people. So you would like to be the Bill Gates, Elon Musk, like Jeff for Amazon or Mark in Facebook. And people always relate being an entrepreneur to being a famous person, a famous celebrity on the social media, you have an influence. Some other people think that this is the shortest path to get money. So I would like to be rich, have billions of dollars, because the top 10 like richest people on this planet has been an entrepreneur at least part of their life. So this is the quickest path or the shortest path to be rich. And some other people think of flexibility. So I will be my own boss. I will be flexible. I can work whenever I'm free. I don't go work whenever I would like. I don't have to report to anyone. I'm reporting to myself, and this is freedom. So the three pillars of being famous or having the power and money, getting a lot of money, even if people don't understand it well, that most of this money is assets or stocks. There's a lot of money. Even, I think there's an echo. Okay. And the third thing is flexibility or being your own boss. So you are free, you can do whatever you would like, whenever you want. I'm really sorry for telling you this, but if this is one of them or the three of them are the main cause that you would like to be an entrepreneur, I believe you are in the wrong room, or especially in the wrong direction as a career path. Actually, the three of them is the pitfalls for being an entrepreneur. Can you see this slide? I'm not sure if you are familiar with these faces or not. Have a good look about them. I believe like at least 50% of the people of the audience will not know them all. Actually, the four of them are great entrepreneurs with an international or multinational company with billions. Let's have a look. Guys, these are the co-founders for these startups. Google was a startup one day, WhatsApp with an exit of $16 billion, This was the one of the co-founders. YouTube, this was a software developer at YouTube at the beginning. And here's the co-founder for Uber. The issue is that you don't know any of them. Although I'm sure that you are using the 4 platforms on a daily or a weekly basis. So what's this answer? The first pitfall, which is being famous. It's not a must that you are famous because of you are an entrepreneur. And believe me, you can be much famous easier in a very short time through any different mean like social media or TikTok or whatever the platform is. But don't think that the shortest path or the main goal for an entrepreneur is to be famous. The second one was the money. We will know how many startups fail in a few minutes from now. And you see the very small amount or like a very few startups that became unicorns in the world and where the founders have billions now. So this is not the shortest path to go for like being a billionaire from a day. And the third, which is the flexibility or being your own boss, I'm sorry to tell you that you also have a boss. Who are the boss? Your clients is a part of being a boss for you if you are the founder. Client and customers. Your investors, because you will be an executive member on board, like a CEO or a CFO or a CMO, whatever your position is. So you are reporting quarterly or annually to the investors. So the shareholders have a word and have a power on you. So you actually are not this kind of free person. Even your team, all the higher team that they are reporting to you, either you are, whatever the organization structure is also a burden. So you're not that free. If you are seeking out freedom, this is not the job to start with. I feel people are a bit confused. We are here for the money and for the power and for flexibility. So why should I look for entrepreneurship or be an entrepreneur? If the answer of the why that I asked a few minutes ago is impacting people's life or supporting economy locally and internationally in a scale, leaving a footprint or a brand that people will tell stories after that, like a brand that can live 100 years, for example, or having a dream of building an empire that support youth and support the employees themselves and impact also people's life. If you feel that you are being the change, this is the time that you should start thinking of this career path. And always remember your mission in life. This is the real why. The real why you are doing this. Like why you are thinking of being an entrepreneur. Is it just for being famous or not? So by defining the mission of your life, why you are doing this, you can have the answer if it's you, the person that should be try this career path or not. Some people would like to ask, actually someone is texting, but I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are famous or they are having influence in the community. Believe me, you will never find a startup that all the co-founders known. Maybe few of them, but even you will find a lot of co-founders that will never appear or be famous, and they don't think of it actually. So maybe you will be famous, maybe you will get some money of it, a good amount of money, I mean, or maybe you will have some flexibility. But on the other side, this is not guaranteed 100% to have the three of them. Also, another why, if you find a problem that you have an innovative way to solve it, not a traditional one. And we will talk about what is a traditional business and what is it to open a startup and what's the difference between them. Because a lot of people confuse a bit about entrepreneurship and startups and like the normal business or traditional business. And keep also in mind that entrepreneurs who succeeded always give the customers, which is the real burden that makes your life not easy and not flexible that much, a better and a faster or a cheaper to the competitors. You are starting a new idea or a new startup, you are into the market, you need to be having innovative idea, and this idea or solution need to be either cheaper, faster, or better, so people leave the current competitor and start using your app or using your solution. And this moves us to what's the difference between startups and a normal small or medium businesses, or a regular one or a traditional one, whatever the name. It differs a lot in the organizational structure and in the funding and everything, but the main concern and the kind of team and calibers inside it, but the main concern is that traditional business, they don't have any innovation in it. So you are starting a grocery, you are starting a small supermarket, a physical one. You are not depending on technology, and also there's no innovation. There's a lot of shops that is doing the same business like 50 years, 100 years ago, and you are doing it on the same way they are doing it. A startup needs to have a new idea, the way of solving the problem itself need to be having a lot of innovation. What is also different in the revenues, like the small and medium businesses, regular ones, have a small margin of profits because they have a lot of competitors, but they are sustainable, more sustainable, and less of failure. Startups have a peaky growth, like a growth hackathon, that the growth is scaling up, it's very accelerating, like it's not a linear diagram, it's an exponential diagram, but also have a lot of risk and have a lot of failures. So it's your call to balance. So if I found myself like the person who would like to impact people's life, and I feel that I'm a bit of person that would like to change the world, okay, so let's have a look about what the skills that you need to know about entrepreneurs. The word entrepreneurs itself, it's a French word that means risk taker. Because you are starting a startup, you have a lot of uncertainty in your life. So you need to accept risk. And the more risk you have, the more gain you will get. You need to be a very creative person, because to find an innovation and an innovative way or innovative solutions. A very high self-discipline. And I would like to stress on a very high self-discipline. Because you are your own boss and you are reporting to yourself, this is not an easy task at all, believe me. So you need to have a very high self-discipline because you are your own boss. Be flexible. The more flexible you are, the more successful you will be. Having the ability to live a very stressful life. Why I'm saying all this, like a bit of hard skills that you need to know, or the character or the impact in your life, because if you would like to choose this career path, you need to understand the whole image. Your life will be very stressful because of too much uncertainty you are living, and the smaller scale your business is, the more easy to be affected with any economic crisis or with any changes in the laws or whatever will happen in your country or in the world. Actually, any change in the currency can affect you. So the smaller scale, the more like fragile you are. You need to be self-motivated. You have a self-motivation, because you'll not find it very rewarding, especially in the early starting of your startup. And all the way you will be having downs. So you need to motivate yourself because you're your own boss. You need to be a good leader, have a good leadership skills, good negotiator, you'll be talking a lot, and have a social and emotional intelligence. And if I would like to summarize all the skills or the character in a word, I will say this. The word resilience, or be resilient. An entrepreneur key is being resilient, which means that the ability to get up again. Crises, problems, either in money or cash, with the team, with any economic situation that changed in the country or in the world as the COVID we are living now, will hit hardly to your business or your startup. And it will keep windy, because as you see in the background, some days it's very windy and some days it's calm. So being resilient to pass by the windy days and get back after that. This is how the business goes. Like, this is the main way to survive as an entrepreneur. Be resilient. So after you know the bit of number of skills that you need to have, and the character that is the most familiar with being an entrepreneur, and you feel it's okay, you need to know how to start. And this should be the next slide. But for me, I would like to start with the failures, because it's the best learning. As I told you, it's about resilience. So it's how you learn, the ability to learn from your faults and you are failed in the startup, to get back more stronger. And I will tell you that around 90% of the startups fail, which means that one startup from each and 10 startups complete. It's a huge number. And this is why I would like to start with why do startups fail. I sum it up in 9 points. Of course, there's another points that can make a startup fail, but from experience, these are the most, like, the 9 most things that I would like to share with you. Lack of the need in the market. You have a great idea and you rock the world, and you know that this is the best idea ever and no one have ever think of this idea before, and you feel proud of yourself, and your family and your friends keep clapping for you. But actually, believe it or not, your idea is useless for the market. What? Yes. This is why when we are talking about how to start, you need to get a prototype and you MVP and go for a lot of advice and recommendation for people and make people try it, your product. If you are doing marketing plans on paper without going for real market survey, you are doing nothing. So you need to know the real need for the market for your idea or startup, and don't measure it on yourself and your friends only, especially in small communities. Number 2, lack of experience and the business experience, or choosing bad team. Either the founder or the co-founders need to have all this experience, and if not only one person, you need some co-founders to complete the full image for experience. If someone on the business, someone on the technical side, someone on the finance side. So the more expertise on board, the more successful and more planned the startup will go. 3, your product or service is weak. You are competing with a lot of competitors that is much mature than your product. So believe it or not, if you don't have an edge, a very powerful edge, that people will leave the competitors and start to try your startup or service or product, they will never use it. So to get the early adopters and to use your service or product, you need to have a very powerful or strong product or service. Number 4, weak or wrong market. So this will happen always when startup is expanding in another region or in another city, if it's the smaller scale in the same country, and don't know the market there. And they don't know the competition there, and they don't have an actual numbers and an assessment for the market size and the market need, so they can enter a market, lose all the money there, and get out of the market after that, after a huge loss. So you need to understand the market and understand that the market is right and strong and have the space that you can do business there. 5 is the tolerance for failure. And when you fail, fail safely. It's good to fail, and this is how you learn as an entrepreneur. But you need to fail quickly and safely. Not to keep like running for years, and after that you understand that you failed. So you need to fail safely, a good exit plan, and also quickly. Number 6, which is the ego of the management. Ego of the management, or like the top management or the co-founders, when they have like an ego that they know everything. And this is the start of the failure. Or they don't need any consultations from any consultant or anybody, and we can manage everything. As you grow the business, starting with like 5 to 10 team members, moving to 50 plus, moving to 100 plus, moving to 500 plus, the scale of the company itself change. Each and every stage have its the own management style, the own marketing plan, the way of organization structure and human resources management and talent management, and also in the financing. Even the structure changed, like from small, then to medium, then to, if you get up to corporate, or if it end up the startup, to have an IPO. So they will be having shareholders from different countries or from the public. Every style have its own organization structure and management. So one of the big failures of any entrepreneur just to believe that he knows everything. Being an entrepreneur is a continuous learning process. So every day you are learning. Bad timing, so it's a bad timing if you're like opening a physical shop and it started just in the start of the COVID, so this is a bad timing. Running out of money, which is the cash flow or management, it's always the finance is a big pillar. Financing and an accounting as a CFO of any startup is a very important pillar. It can change a lot. Last one, actually, and I feel it, the last one, even in the importance, is the funding problems. Because believe it or not, if you have a running business and you have statements, financial statements that you have a percentage of profit, you can raise fund easily. You can find a lot of people giving you money. So this is not the main concern. Simply anyone would like to invest in a business that have a solid solid state and it's growing and it have like numbers stating this. So if you have something, even if you have $100 that after a year is $200, you double it. So this means that if you have 1 million, it will be almost double. It's not the same percentage, of course, because when the assets and the money increase, the percentage of profit decrease a little bit because you will be having a lot of admin functions on your startup or your business. But the idea itself that you can run business and you can run money and get profit out of it. Going back to the easiest part of the session is how to start. So I will put it in 5 points. You can find it in a lot of books, a lot of sessions online. And this wasn't like the most important thing for me to deliver today. So how to start is the ideation phase, the team, the business model canvas, the MVP, and the final business model canvas, and getting money. So the idea, I know I'm a bit like giving things like badly to say that your idea is worthless. But believe me or not, anyone can have an idea. It's all about execution, how you implement the idea, how you deliver it to your customers and clients. This is what matters. We can find tons of ideas, but it's all about implementation. So don't have the passion that you have the idea that will change the world and you are the only one on this planet who have a good idea. It doesn't work like this. All those ideation come from inspiration. You get inspired from having a problem or seeing a problem that facing a lot of people, and you have some innovation on this and you find a solution that is not done before, or even if it's like a bit of done, you have an add-on, an edge on this. You have a unique selling point on it, either the money, either the way, either the process itself, making your client life easier. While you are doing the ideation, please focus. Focus. You are not doing a one-stop shop. You will never do a Facebook that have all the features. You need to have a 1 or 2 main selling points that you start with your startup. When you have a lot of customers and loyal customers and you are growing, after that you can add some features, but you can't get one platform that do everything. Be clear and solid in your vision and mission. The market research. I'm a background of a marketeer, so I'm always hit on the marketing. The market research and the marketing plan is one of the most important parts that you need to settle down, give the whole power and time doing it, because it will give you the sign either to complete or get out of this business before you even start it. Never enter a market without having a unique selling point. Finish your marketing plan, including the segmentation, targeting, and positioning for your service or product. Finish your full marketing plan with the marketing mix, promotional plan, advertising plan, everything. And after that, you need to do a small feasibility study, and we will talk about it in the BMC. Number 2 is the team. Choosing the co-founders, the team members, the stakeholders and the shareholders, like the stakeholders who will be working with you as suppliers and third party, and the shareholders, if there are some investors, will be pushing money in this business. I believe this is one of the main pillars that in the micro scale, especially if you are doing bootstrapping model, that you are starting with your own money, or like a very small amount of money that you are saving, the real asset is the team. So choosing your partners, your team members, you need to be very careful in this step. Number 3, pencil down the business model canvas, which is a canvas that is divided to 9 parts or 9 blocks, building blocks. As you see, key partners, key activities, the cost, the key resources on the left side of the, and then the customer relationship, customers and channels and revenues on the right side, and the value proposition, which is the main core uniqueness selling point that you wrote it or found it in while doing the marketing plan. You can pencil it down. You start with the value proposition and then going to the customer segmentation, moving to the customer relation and the channels, moving to all the revenue streams. While putting revenue streams, always plan that you have more than one product or one service. You need to, even if it's one, you need to put some add-ons, some maintenance for it. Don't sell only one product. You need to have like different flavors, different sizes, whatever your product or service doing, but don't give only one product, because if it fails, it will be a big problem that the whole business is only working on a one single product. Then moving to the key partners, key activities, and key resources, writing down all the costs. So by doing the business model canvas, I always say let's do it with a pencil or just print more than a BMC, because it will change. The first time you believe you are totally right, but after you will go with the MVP, you will get back to it. The MVP, which is the minimum viable product, you need to have a prototype that is functionally and working in a very short time. Don't make it like take a lot of time doing this. You just need something quick, functionally. Don't have all the features, but at least to go to the market, make people test it, get your feedback, understand more about the need, the market need, and understand more about your feasibility study and the cost and the revenues that you already wrote it in the BMC. And as you see in the figure, if you are doing a car, like it's a transportation vehicle, so you can be having an MVP, like something that people use for transportation, but giving them a wheel would never help them to understand your product. After you finish your MVP and you find that everything is good and people are happy, and you go back to the BMC and fulfill it, it's time for funding. And the sources is like you can go for bootstrapping. You and the co-founders invest your private or your small money. And as I said here, the main asset is the team. And this is what the team or the founders are the main factor for investors to invest, especially in micro businesses or micro startups. Shareholders, asking your family and friends, bank loans, angel investors, if you're Series A or Series B or venture capital, finding seed funds from angel investors, some donors or grants, crowdfunding, startups competitions, and it's everywhere. Even the IEEE have a lot of competitions nowadays supporting startups, either in the Originate Initiative and the IEEE Globally, Entrepreneurship Global Team. There's a lot of incubation and acceleration programs. This is a sum up for the 5 steps. You get an idea through inspiration. you visualize it, you write it down, discuss with your friends. And I don't like this part of the friends, because you need to go out your network to get a real feedback. And then you need to do, after that, you pencil down the BMC, build your prototype, which is the MVP, go back and discuss with the people around if it's really working, people are happy. If they feel that you need to add features for this MVP, write down the roadmap when you'll finish the next feature and when you'll finish your beta version and alpha version until you launch it. It's time for money. So either you put money for bootstrapping or you need some support. You can find support using pitching in any of the method that I just mentioned. And while pitching, everyone will ask you, you have an MVP, please give me your business model. Because simply they need to know the ROI, the return on investment. I'm giving you money, when this money will be back, where is your break-even point? These are what people would like to hear from you. And as I told you, choosing the team are the main cause that the investors will be investing. Also, here is a sum up, another way. The formulation, validation, and growth, 3 phases: ideation and concept. The second phase, the MVP, validating your product, getting it into the market, and then scaling up or growing. My last point in this part of how it works, everyone always have an exit plan. I'm investing some money and some time, and he knows what happens if we fail. But what founders don't always agree on before starting is, what if we succeeded? And my tip here is, you need to write a plan with all your stakeholders for your future plan and also your exit plan. So if we got this amount of money, what will be the decision at this moment? Especially if you are like equivalent co-founders, equivalent chairs, I mean. If you are listening this session, you can like write some notes, or you have the slides or have the video and you think you have it all. Actually, it's not that easy. I'm just giving like some points to make you start thinking of how it works. But what on reality happens is the other way around. You either go up and down like a roller coaster till you find the success, because it's not that easy. If it wasn't as easy as a session to learn from it without implementing and without going back and forth and having feedback, it would have, everyone could be having his own startup at this moment. At this slide, like, again, I'm giving you some insights. People are saying entrepreneurs are the most successful people. Other people are saying employees is a comfort, they are in the comfort zone, but they are not famous. And some people are saying the business owners for traditional business are having the most easy life. What do you think about this? Testimonials. After hearing this session, I believe I told you how life is hard for entrepreneurs, and being an entrepreneur could be successful or not if your startup complete or not. And we said that 90% fail. So each and every 10 startups, 9 fail. So they are not the most successful people. Employment or employees are in comfort zone, but they're not famous. No, the CEO of Google is famous. You can find it, and he's everywhere. For example, maybe he's more familiar with like as a face or as a name more than the co-founder himself from Google. So you can get money from being employee, and you can be famous if you'd like to, if this is your goal. Also, it's a bit of comfort zone, but believe it or not, we see it all in the COVID, how many employee was laid off and they were fired from different companies. So nothing called 100% comfort zone. There will always be uncertainty in life. Even the business owner who is a traditional business owner, people think he's living the most easy life. I don't believe this, because he's moving in a very traditional way, less flexible, don't have high resilience, and buy time because everything is changing, technology is changing, he will lose the market share. And this is what happened for them when in the COVID era, and everything is online now and the digitalization is taking place. So, and the e-commerce platform. So if you have a physical shop, you're losing market share now. What I would like to say from this, that whatever the choice is, it's your choice at the end. And nothing is perfect and nothing is easy. It's all about if you have the mission that of changing the world or changing, impacting people's lives, this can be a good career path to start. And there's no blueprints for success. On the three plans, even on the fourth plan, which if you are working as an academia person, teaching people, all of them don't have easy blueprints. It's your choice to choose. What I can say that there's no age to start as an entrepreneur. People started, a lot of huge successful stories globally started after 40 years old. We hear about people in the 20s, or 30s also. So there is no age for this. And if I would like to sum up the question that we started the session with, because I believe I'm exceeding time, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. Yes. And because life has no manual, so it's always your choice to try things. Whatever your choice is, whatever your career path is, know well that everyone have his own story. It's time to build yours and tell us about it. I would like to thank you for listening for this session. Hope it was useful for you. And I'm open for question, and please let us keep in touch. This is my mail and LinkedIn account, Facebook page. If you have any questions, we can talk after that. And I'm open now for questions. I will ask my my friend Ali if he can help me with the questions.
Hello, if anyone has questions, he can drop it off in all social media, YouTube, Facebook, or here in Zoom. You can put it in chat or Q&A. I believe maybe your presentation was very clear, that no one has question yet. Until they think about questions, I have one question that can to be, when you say there is a good exit plan, should when I start my startup, I think about the exit plan, like when I should feel this my business will
So yeah,
inside.
I believe you need to have an exit plan even since the day one. Like at least like the minimum exit plan for a small startup that is based on bootstrapping, or like people are investing time and effort, both of them. So the exit plan could be, or maybe you should think of when is my break even point? Like when can I get back? Can I get back my money that I invested? So this could be a very simple exit plan exercise you need to know. Like I'm investing now a money of $50,000. I'm starting a business with it. I need to know when I should stop accelerating, and it's time to get at least my capital back. This could be an exit plan. All the way, the exit plan change, of course.
Yeah.
I think we have an answer. We have a question. From Siyun. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name right or wrong, but I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. So Siyun is asking, can friends be trusted with one's idea? If I understand the question right, you mean that can I tell my friends my idea, right? As I told you, ideas are worthless, which means that it's very hard to find a friend that take your idea and go and implement it the same way you would like to implement it, first of all. The second thing is he need to be free for this. Like, being an entrepreneur is a full-time job, okay? So do he or him have the free time to do this? Of course, if your friend is a competitor, yeah, you need to think of this. But if it's just a friend or a family member, no one will steal it, believe it or not. Like, people don't have time, especially hard workers or real entrepreneurs don't have much time to like keep answering and keep socializing. They have too much work to do, believe it. Hope you get the answer.
And anyone has any questions? We would like to thank you for this informative talks you have about entrepreneurs. I hope you inspire the people who watch this webinar, either live or watch it recorded in YouTube. It will be available on YouTube also. If you have a final word and advice for entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you for Originate Young Professional Teams. We have a comment here. Yes, of course. We have a comment from Mr. Hassan Al-Maligi asking about that, or mentioning that people need mentorship more than normal support. Yes, and it's both sides. We need more mentors, and we need more acceptance from the co-founders. As I said, one of the pitfalls that they don't have the ego that we know everything. They need to understand that they need mentorship, and each and every stage in your startup or business life or cycle need consultants and mentorship from different scale of consultants. Last thing, life has no manual. It's your choice, guys. Being an entrepreneur is good. Being a non-entrepreneur is also good. Live peacefully and happily. Enjoy your success and have a good evening. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.